G'day footy fans and welcome to Boothy's AFL Fantasy Dream Team podcast. Today I'm updating my forwards. Well, I've limited the forwards to only 4 for each position for you to make it easier if you haven't selected your AFL Fantasy Dream Team already for Classic. And F1s to choose from are Dowhouse from the Bulldogs, who got 100 in JLT the other day, looks great. McRae, who has been averaging 100 for the last couple of years. Green from GWS, who looks impressive and was All-Australian last year. And Isaac Smith from Hawthorn, who keeps getting 90s and occasionally gets a big 100 as well. So they're options for your F1. You could have 2 of those if you wanted to, but then you'd have to sacrifice something else. F2s are Higgins from North Melbourne, who in JLT played 2.5 games and got 28 disposals in one and 14 in another half, and the other one did quite well, so he looks solid. Took Miller from Gold Coast, who averaged 81 last year, but finished the season averaging 100 in the last 8 games, but they do have a few players back now, but he could be a special third-year player, having 40 games under his belt already. Tom Lynch from Gold Coast is there at 520, and they're in green, Miller and Lynch, because they have a bye in round 9, so an early bye with Port Adelaide after the China trip. Lynch is there because he's one of the premier forwards in the comp, and because he is playing Brisbane in round 1, and Brisbane are notorious for having a young defence and letting go lots and lots of Dream Team points, lots and lots of goals. So Lynch is there because I think he'll have a great start to the year, and he might be worth a punt, particularly playing Brisbane. Last year, Josh Kennedy from West Coast against Brisbane round 1 got 180 in Dream Team, and Lynch could get 130, 140, could even make him captain for something different in round 1, and therefore his average in the first month is still going to be very, very high for a 520 player based on having Brisbane first up possibly. Devon Smith from GWS is solid. On the back of Canelio being injured for round 1, he could get some time in the midfield possibly. And Whitfield as well is not there. Steele from St Kilda looks fantastic. He's got 100 in the last couple of JLT games. He's a prolific ball winner, 3rd, 4th year player now. Gone to St Kilda from GWS. He looks like a promising player, that's for sure. McKernan's there because the Essendon Rucks are decimated and he's the only one left for round 1. Bill Chambers played in the VFL on the weekend but doesn't look quite ready for round 1. And Leuenberg has done his hamstring. So McKernan will be the sole ruck. And the way he jumps around and he does hit-outs and gets on the ground, does handballs and then gets up forward and kicks goals and gets tackles, he actually, when he rucks, gets about 100. And that's the case 2 years ago. And it was the case last week in JLT with 114. So McKernan's there because he's going to be the sole ruck. And when he's the sole ruck, as I said, he gets lots of points because of the way he plays. So he could be a good one at 436 in the forward line. Caleb Daniels there as a 3rd-year special player, and he's starting to become more prolific with his ball-winning ability. A small player, but a great player. And I think this could be the year he breaks out and can get to 100 average. Billings is there from St Kilda, the same. Could get to 100 from about 80. 4th-year player now, but looks great. Bradley Hill's gone to join his brother, and he's fit and he's quick. And, he's averaging 85 in JLT, but he's priced at 70. And was a bit homesick late last year at Hawthorn, so I think he's going to get better. Roughhead's there from Hawthorn. He's a bit of a risk, obviously, after his cancer in his knee previously. But he in JLT was averaging around 80 or so, and he could get 100 in round 1 for Hawthorn. He's their captain, so he's there. But he is a risk, so don't have more than about 2 risks throughout your whole team with players coming back from injuries. Phillips is there from Collingwood because it looks like he'll get a game in round 1. Got 100 in JLT, got 100 in one of his 6 games he played last year. He looks like a promising mid/forward. He will average a lot more than what he has there in terms of 60-odd. He will average closer to 80 if he gets regular games. And on the back of Collingwood's injuries at the moment to a few players, I think Phillips will get a go in round 1. And if he does, I think he'll be good for 80 or so. So he's definitely going to make you some money. Horvath's there from North Melbourne, same reason. At the Bulldogs, he averaged 10 more. He's at North Melbourne where he'll get opportunities. So Horvath's there at 380, similar to Phillips. Not quite as prolific, but still very good. And then Curvis is there because he's a sole ruck at Richmond now on the back of their injuries to Hampson and Marich, and therefore he will get big scores, and that price is discounted from his average at Sydney last year, so he's probably good for 85, so he's well priced. Boyd's there for the same reason because of their injuries to Campbell and Roughhead, so he'll be the sole ruck as well. Smets is there from Carlton because he's gone across from Geelong. He's a mature sort of player, 24, 25, and he the last game got 89, so in JLT, so he's a good value at 259. Jed is there for the same reason, a great pre-season, has averaged 75 or so for Sydney before, priced very cheaply at West Coast and had a good pre-season, so he's good value there as well. Matt Kennedy's there from GWS because he's got himself strong and fit, and they've got a few opportunities for midfield time in JLT, averaged probably 70 in that comp, and he's priced obviously at 194, so very, very cheap. And he will get a go in round 1, I reckon, on the back of Whitfield, Deledio, Canelio, and Dabu not being available. Hopefully get a game in round 1. Taranto, Gunn, first-year player, looks the best of them for JLT series. Got, a 90 or a couple of good scores there, including a 90. So he's a good value pick as a dual position player also. And then your reserves are 150 players like Miles if he gets a gig at Hawthorn. Eddie definitely from Port Power. Don't put him on your field, but he did get a few goals the other day, so put him on your bench as your emergency. Pickett from Carlton, small forward, so don't put him on your field, but a good emergency dual position. And maybe Black if he gets to go for Geelong. And Butler, if he's named on Thursday night for Richmond in 5 days' time, could be a good one to have on your bench, maybe even as an emergency in one if that's the way you want to go. But Eddie's probably a better emergency, I think, for round 1. So put Butler as F8 if he's in round 1 for Richmond, which you'll know by Wednesday night. So look, they're the forwards. I've narrowed it down for you quite a bit. Don't forget the buys. And remember, only have one Gold Coast or Port player on your field, 2 at the most on your field from, as I said, your whole team of 22 players on your field. 1 Gold Coast and or Port player, maybe 2 at the most. But you can have Eddie on your bench as well because they've all got to buy in round 9 and you only get 2 trades for that week. So be careful because you don't want to be caught short in round 9. I haven't considered Heaney, Motlop, Caddy, Bell and Taylor because they either haven't been doing well enough, been injured, underdone or something. So I haven't considered them. As I said, think about the buys throughout, but really, at the end of the day, just pick the players you want, have a balance of teams that you want to select, and good luck picking your classic team. You need to do it in the next 5 days. Partial lockout Thursday at 6:50 or 7:20 Eastern time, and then a full lockout for the rest of your team other than Hawthorn and Carlton. Richmond and Carlton players, a full lockout will occur at 7:20 Eastern, 7:50 Eastern, on Friday night next week. So you've got all of Friday to get it sorted, other than, as I said, your Richmond and Carlton players. Good luck. Please subscribe, please like, please share, please comment, and thank you and bye for now.